thinking about those salicines, whether those, the salicylic acid should have an effect.
Yeah.
We don't know, but it's, if you compare the vigour between, say, these vines and those, they were planted at exactly the same time, between the ones under the post.
Yeah.
I think these are much more established. I think they're more vigour.
Yeah.
And they were planted within days of each other.
Yeah.
So anything that's in terms of like the willow itself, if it's not working right, then I can just replace it. I've got stacks of willow.
Right. That's right.
So yeah, I don't know. My problem there is also some of the, because I like the hedgerows high, but it's the birds.
Oh yeah.
That's perhaps going to be an issue. And then we've got like the windbreak here. That's a rewilded section. It's only about a quarter of an acre, but it's just let to go.
Yeah.
So you've got wildlife, biodiversity, really close to the actual vines themselves. So there's lots of interaction going on.
So how do you deal with birds in here?
It's like a fun fair, a carnival.
Oh right, you hang things.
Balloons and kites that are flying and all the rest of it. But also I'm experimenting with, it's a North American grape, Concord.
Yeah.
The essence of Concord is like really bubblegum, sweet.
Yeah.
It's actually an irritant to birds' nostrils.
Really?
Yeah, so my friend in Australia and I are running a little experiment together. He hangs Hessian slips soaked in a carrier oil with essence of Concord, basically.
Yeah.
And aromatizes his vineyard. Now he's fighting. He's working with parakeets.
Wow.
Those sort of birds, and they don't take a grape, they take a bunch.
Yeah.
So they snip off the bunch and drop. So he has a lot of damage that way. What we're trying to do here is aromatize and irritate the nostrils to keep the birds off.
So what do you?
So we use a milk carton with oil reservoir at the bottom, a normal wick, like a thick wick. That absorbs, obviously, osmosis, takes the oil and the oil up, aromatizes because the carton itself is aerated, there's lots of holes, and it just wafts through. And so what I do when people come to visit, I say, and we've got them up just before harvest, I said, can you smell anything? Can you smell anything? Yes, it's a bit sweet, it's a bit sickly, it's a bit bubblegum. It's working.
So,
but the birds are sat there thinking, "What is he on about?"
And what is the Concord? Is it juice that you're getting, or you have an essential oil of Concord?
Yeah.
Oh,
basically.
Huh.
Yeah. And so
it works. And it works as far as.
Is that you or me?
Not me.
Oh.
I don't think.
We're still in.
The experimentation phase.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got to take this.
Yeah.
That's unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. Split. Well, it looks like they were both bent over somehow, instead of one up and one.
Oh, hang on. I know what I've done. Right, this is a. Oh no, it's split there.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. Oh, I haven't done that. It needs repair.
Yeah.
But you imagine this, just laying the vine down, putting in a new slip, bending it over. It's about 5 minutes work.
Right.
It's really easy just to.
Right. And the vine can stay there. Right.
Yeah, it just holds it. Just put it back onto it.
Yeah, with a new slip.
With a new slip.
Amazing.
Super quick.
And so this is just soil difference over here. Why these are less.
Yeah. Now this area is these aren't as. Yeah. So what I've done so far.
The little vine.
Is this is the only place that I've put some biochar.
Okay.
And I've activated that or inoculated that with the micro profile from just over there.
Okay.
So it's very close. So I've.
I mean, you used inoculated biochar after these weren't doing well to try to help them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's only this patch, and what I do.
I was like, man, biochar made these stunted, and but no, you used it because they were.
I'm trying to repair it. But I think I don't quite know why there's a difference here. But I'm hoping that the biochar inoculated with the microbes from over there, from the duff from over there, and then I bred them in a bucket with molasses and bran.
Yeah.
To lift them up a bit.
Yeah.
Put that into the biochar, laid the biochar by the vines, and then rolled the grass over it.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
then just hold it there, and it's.
That's great.
And then let the worms do their thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the only. Like I say on inputs, I'm very cautious.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only here that we've done it in this field anyway. But, what it takes, if you know what I mean, it's almost carbon neutral.
Right.
Which is good. But these ones, this site, you see a couple here that I'd probably be taking this year, and we'll see the big field of willow down there. But these I'll take some of these this year and set up a temporary rack here because I'm not going to get this decking done yet. And then I'll do another drying space down below. You'll see that later.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And but it's all done with tyres and but at the end of the day, I had to say to my neighbour, no more tyres. I couldn't take it anymore.
But they create, because they absorb the heat.
Yeah.
When you lay them out, they create a beautiful drying rack.
Yeah.
They're heating up, and
especially if you've got a higher bit at the back.
Right.
Because that creates that wall of dark.
Radiant energy. Yeah.
Just pulls that heat through.
Right.
That air movement underneath. Brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah. It works really well.
Look at this coppice grove. Now, you guys didn't plant these? These were here? Oh, you did?
I planted all of these.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So how long ago?
These have been coppiced twice.
Okay.
So what does that make them? 10 years?
Okay.
12 years maybe?
Okay.
But obviously this is new growth. And I coppice them on I try to work between 5 and 8. It depends on how they're doing. And I get quite selective,
Yeah.
I can afford to be. I don't have to take them all down. So if I've got a coppice that's looking, if I've got a coppice over there and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I'll take, and I can leave 4.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yep.
So it's already on its way for the next cycle.
Right.
If you carefully cut them out and let them go again. And it's good wood to burn. It doesn't give as much calorific energy as say oak.
Yeah.
But it's easy,
Yeah.
It's easy to work. If I'm dealing with a pole like that.
But a lot quicker than oak.
I can just trim off the brash.
Right.
That goes into the dead hedge.
Okay.
See, so that's the dead hedge running along there.
Yeah.
So that's all the brash. You can see a little bit sticking up over there.
Yeah.
So that's all the brash, and then the actual poles themselves will go on the rack.
Okay.
And then from the rack, I can take it to the back of the tractor and literally just slice it. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh.
Next one. Dun, 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 dun.
Nice.
Really fast.
And so, drying for when you need it for fuel,
Yeah.
and then keep it alive when you're going to build an arbustrum, basically. You just cut it and stick it in the ground, basically.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Your organic waste, and it can be filled with anything. We don't have livestock. It's not really that important for livestock, but for us, it's a good way of getting rid of our brash and keeping our fences.
Could you contain livestock with that? I mean, it looks pretty impenetrable for sheep or something.
If a sheep saw it, he probably wouldn't bother to go through it.
Right.
There's so much more on this side anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe we would go up a bit higher.
Right.
But apart from that, it's kind of.
Is there any? So it's constantly sort of breaking down and decaying, so it'll drop and become the soil.
That's it.
But then, can you do anything with that? Like, do you use that decayed biomass after it's been in there for a while, or does it just build a little mound at the edge?
Build a little mound.
Yeah.
And just let it be what it is. I don't know.
So you could almost build it, like you could almost use it instead of digging to make a swale. Like it. That's amazing. So if you needed some water direction,
Yeah, yeah.
this would be a good way
You
to
could-
start.
Yeah.
Huh.
And yeah.
That's amazing.
Move the vineyard on a few rows. This area here, I may have to clear
Oh yeah,
just to expand,
yeah,
or I can't work with it. I can't work around it, so it's going to have to come out
yeah.
a little bit. But there's a nice hedgerow along here. Trees are nice and high because we get the wind full on coming through, so they, you know.
So this is the youngest of the
Yeah.
arbustrum.
A lot of these probably wouldn't have taken. It's just hit and miss, because what I did was literally just put them in the ground. So what I'm going to do this year is, with a section of my prunings, it's probably set up about 500 or 600 pots. Just put them on, maybe
Oh, yeah.
500. 500 is a bit much, but a few hundred pots. Get the prunings in, bring them on as bare rooted,
Got it.
and then put them back in. I can also sell them as well.
Right, and so not grafted.
Non-grafted.
And you'll see, I mean, I guess it's too early to tell now whether it's working out, but you'll see in
We'll see.
a couple of years. Pretty.
It's only a small section, you know.
Yeah.
It's not gonna break the bank if it doesn't work. You know?
Well,
But exactly the same principle. You can see it a little bit younger, so you can see it perhaps a bit clearer. It's just those arcs.
right. Yeah.
Go, you know.
Yeah.
Willow going up, and then I'll train this back down. But yeah, there are some of these vines have taken, some haven't.
Right.
You know, when you're working with those ones, it literally is a case of sticking them in the ground and seeing if they go. If they don't go, they don't go. If they do, they do.
The planting process. So you're planting.
Yeah.
Which one are you planting first? The tree or the vine, or at the same time?
Right. This
Yeah.
one I did at the same time.
Okay, got
But
it.
I probably wouldn't do that again.
What would you do first?
I would do the vine first.
Okay.
Make sure it's established,
Okay.
and then the next year put the willow on.
Got
So
it.
I think just having that year just to give it a chance to get going.
And you're literally just you tap a spike into the ground and then stick the willow in
I've got
the
a
hole.
video for you to
Oh.
see of me doing it if you want.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really quick.
Yeah.
You just need a long line,
Yeah. To
a pile of willow,
and a big spike.
or what I
And
actually
a
do
hammer.
is I measure it out first.
Uh huh.
So just put the willow in,
Right. Right. Where it's gonna be.
yeah,
Right.
and then just run along, tap, dump, tap, dump.
Mhm. Perfect.
Bend, bend, bend.
Wow.
That's it.
Nice.
Chop them. I'll show you the video of it. And then grow a crop off that at such minimal cost.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. But we'll see. You know, if we're still here in 5 years' time, it's work.
Now the other ones had more of like, it looked like they started like there was a like almost like the willow went up and then there was like a branch that
Yeah.
turned left
Yeah.
and went across. How is that different?
Oh,
Oh, same process though.
same process.
Okay.
Exactly the same.
They just they're better behaved willow up there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that I've used larger slips in this field.
Uh-huh.
I think I've gone big because I like the idea of the height. Fruiting zone up there is really appealing to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've lifted them up slightly higher.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so at some point this will go, all that'll go, and then
Gotcha.
yeah.